Okay, so this is for all of you who have said about their voice like not being consistent, or finding like it gets tired after like a small amount of practice or things like that. So I've been songwriting today for my show on the 9th of July, and I'm just kind of working out like backing tracks and stuff at the moment for some of my songs, and my voice is just completely fucking like not there today. Like I can feel it as I'm going through and doing stuff, and so I just thought I'd share it with you. I bet I won't be able to get like an example of what it's been doing now, but it has just been completely all over the place, squeaking and just like randomly changing gears without my permission. Like you can probably hear in my voice, like it's not like great. And I'll hold my hands up, I did not warm up because I'm terrible, to be honest, but also because I wasn't, that's a lie, I actually went through and practiced each of my songs, but I was just like, oh, I'm only practicing them to see if I can like, time it all up and stuff. I really should have warmed up, but we're all rubbish at doing things, right? So yeah, like I've just been playing, like, so this song that I've just been playing with is maybe not the best example because it all kind of sits a little bit lower. But what was I doing? Another one earlier, and then I was like, wow, my voice is just all over the place. Let me see if let me pause and see if I can find a song that might show you what's happening. Okay, I found the song that it was doing it on. I'm just going to stop my fan from turning so that I don't really want to turn it off. I might just turn it down a little bit so it's a little bit quieter. So this is actually the song that I'm going to be doing for the opening of my show. And let me find a little section because, yeah, my voice was just not having it earlier. So let me see which bit will show. Oh, it'll be that bit. Right, I'll do it with the backing track. Hopefully the sound quality will be okay. So, and then I'll wear the flowers and the glitter, ruffles and the feathers, tassels and lace. I'll be the sparkle and the twinkle, shimmer and the dazzle, smile on my face. That was not what I wanted. Float a wiggle and a sachet, shimmy and a flourish, blow you a kiss. I'll indulge in silk and satin, flamboyant and stunning, lost in my bliss. So like it's just not, it's not having it right, okay? But also, where's my straw? A phrase that many of you will have heard me say. Hold on, I'm going to pause again and find it. So I also thought I could show you, hopefully, how the straw can help if your voice is feeling really rough, like mine is feeling really rough right now, okay? So the thing with the straw SOVT, is it's about finding the sort of most efficient balance between the breath and the vocal fold use, okay? So we're not looking for like loads of breath to be coming out. It's a quiet sound, it's not overly loud, because it's going through a small tiny space, okay? So to start with, this is going to be tricky for me, I imagine, okay? So, and my straw is like, it's fancy, it has all different levels of like back pressure options, which to be honest I probably should actually look at for this example because it might help. So let me find, I do have a chart of all of them somewhere on my desktop, on one of my 3 desktops. Which of the 3 desktops is a good question. Oh, there it is. So the lowest resistance for this straw, so this would be like if I was using like a bigger straw, like a bigger diameter straw, is like this. Okay, so this should be the easiest for me to start with. So That's not too bad. That's not too bad. So I might go up a little bit. So I'm going to go up to, so that's 4C apparently. I'm going to go up to 3A because it's not massive jump. So let's do that. So did you hear that? I don't know if you heard that, but that was my voice just cracking out. So that says to me that, like, yeah, I need to do some work here. So So what I'm doing here is I'm seeing how far out the breath is going, where I can feel it, and then I'm trying to make it so that it's closer, so it's not pushing out as much. I don't know where that is, what pitch wise. So that, you know, that's right up at the top of my range. That's like a G5. But like, yeah, normally I'm okay there. And I could just, yeah, my voice is just absolutely like crapping out there. So that was a little bit better. Okay, I cheated. I opened my mouth a little bit around the straw. Okay, I'm going to go up to a different resistance. I don't know if you can hear, but I can already feel my voice is feeling a little bit better. So let's go to 2A, which is here. Yeah, there's not a huge, there's like 2C, 2B, but like the difference in those are like very, very minuscule. So, okay, so immediately I can feel that is like so much harder. So what I did there was I had too much breath to start with, so I let some breath go so that my lungs weren't like over full, because if they're too full, then they're fighting against the elasticity of wanting to snap back, so you're more likely to push more air out, and we don't want to do that. So I've always got, I usually kind of instinctively take a breath kind of thing. So that was not too bad, but I can still hear a lot of air coming out there. Although it's not actually coming out as far, it might just be that I'm hearing it. That was my gear change, just jumping over that. That was a little bit smoother over the gear change. I took a breath before that one, and it was definitely harder. So sometimes when you feel a tickle as well, store SOVT, or sometimes a sort of can help to remove that as well, rather than coughing. There's that little squeak. Okay, that's getting a bit better. I can still hear a lot of air coming out there, but that's okay. I'm going to go to the highest resistance now, which is this way around. So, oh, this might be pushing it, but we'll see. So this is like if it had like a really tiny diameter straw, basically. So it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Up at the top there, that's definitely not happy. what I'm doing here is I'm kind of playing around with how it feels and how it sounds. So whenever I go over a bit that kind of feels a little bit bumpy, or, you know, not as easy to get to, I will kind of go back over it a few times, and I'll usually like go a little bit further, both sides, like low and high, of that, and try and kind of come into it and out of it and across it kind of thing, before moving on to like another part of the voice. Again, I took too much of a breath there. So I think I was going up to about the F there, and I know I can go higher than that, but I could feel if I went higher than that at that point that like my voice would just go all off on one again. So I'm going to go back to the 2A, because I think that resistance might be a little bit too much. That's definitely easier. I can still hear a lot of breath coming out, which is what I'm sort of trying to reduce, basically, whilst keeping the sound going. So what I'm finding is the higher notes are actually coming out clearer with like less breath, so that's why I'm kind of going from up down at the moment. Because when I'm kind of switching into those lower notes, that's when too much air is starting to come out. What note is that? But that's my F3, so that's quite near the bottom of my voice. So I can get down, like on a really good day, I can probably get down to like a C3, just about. That is pushing it though. I only know that from a song that I've been playing around with. It's more kind of like spookily whispery. So realistically, my lowest note in like singable is probably like E3, maybe E flat 3. So F3 is not too bad to be getting down to, but I can still feel that it's like really, it feels really tight, like in my voice, and like it feels like there's something tight in here. So again, I'm getting more air through than I want here. So I'll go down to 2C, so that was 2A, so let's go down to 2C and see if it's like much different. I am finding that a little bit easier to sort of play around with and try and control. So I'm still feeling my voice is very like, it's kind of not quite there. So what I'm going to do is, because I want to try and see if I can show you like just doing some little exercises to kind of get my voice back. Like honestly, already I feel like my voice is kind of a lot more there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some vocal fry to just try and relax my voice a little bit. So I can always tell when my voice is in a really not good place, because this is so hard to do, and I have vocal fry in my voice in when I speak. But there's two different types of vocal fry. There's a forced one and there's a relaxed one. The forced one is the one that we most often go to, but that's not helpful. Like that feels like reasonably easy to do, but that's not what I'm looking for right now. I'm looking for the relaxed one, which is really, really hard right now. So because it's a low airflow sound, you don't want to have loads of air, because you it needs to be like a really slow amount of airflow that's coming through. So you might need to, like, if you're playing around with this, it's kind of, you'll be able to do it in short bursts kind of thing. And you want to kind of get rid of air first. Not too much air though. Sometimes I find doing the forced fry and then trying to kind of like let go helps me get into the relaxed one. I'm getting there. Ooh, I might just do a little. So because through the straw it's quiet, sometimes it's like you can't get the vocal folds moving as big because you can't, volume and stuff. So I don't know if that's true. Can you get the vocal folds moving as big? I don't. But the sound isn't going to come out as loud. So because you'll find, anywho, working things out, my brain. So I'm just gonna. G4 is like, this is gonna be interesting because that sounds really high to me right now, and I know that's G4. And G4 is like my go-to note. Like, I know I can do this in modal or falsetto. I know I can get a really good clear sound, and it's not like a load of effort for me. Like it's like a little bit of effort, but like it's it's most of the time it's comfortable. So that was so much effort. That was so much work and like thinking. Normally, no issue whatsoever. So I can definitely tell that my voice is like not there. So easy in falsetto. Not sure if that was forced vocal fry or relaxed vocal fry, but it's definitely starting to feel a bit better. Okay, that feels a little bit easier. B flat. Normally, I can, if I've been singing for a little bit, like getting up to the B or the C is not going to be too much of an issue for me. But like right now, I can really feel it's like, it's not there still. So I'm going to go back to this. Ooh, still got that scratchiness up at the top. I may not be able to get it back today. That's really not coming through. Okay. Okay, I'm going to give the song a go again. So let's see if it's any better. It feels very loud. And then I'll wear the flowers and the glitter, ruffles and the feathers, tassels and lace. I'll be the sparkle and the twinkle, shimmer and the dazzle, smile on my face. I'll flaunt a wiggle and a sachet, shimmy and a flourish, blow you a kiss. That's definitely. I'll indulge in silk and satin, flamboyant and stunning, lost in my bliss. So, definitely better, but struggling with like those top notes. So those top notes are the C5. So that makes a lot of sense. It's like, those top ones are like the C5, B flat 4, A4, B flat 4, A4. So that's like right over my gear change zone, and like particularly right now, right over where my voice is just not cooperating with me. So, but going up to like the I'll indulge, the A, that's the A there. I'll indulge in silk and satin. That one was a lot easier. So yeah, after just having done some of those exercises. So I thought that might be interesting. I definitely feel like my voice is not happy today. I'm not going to push it. I'm not going to like overdo it. I'm going to do some more writing of stuff, but I am not going to like be practicing today. And then tomorrow, what I am going to do is I'm going to warm up properly before I actually start singing. And if I remember, I'll try and record that to share.